Welcome back to Daily Talks. Today we want to talk about handling grief. Handling grief. Many of us have experienced losing loved ones, and it's a fatal loss. We are grieved and saddened. And in my line of work, as I pastor and lead a church, I find that some people are taken away at a young age, some people are taken from us at an elderly age, but there is no right age for us to depart from our loved ones. That's why we experience a grief that often is very, very sad, and it aches us to the core of our being. The more we love them, the more we will miss them. And the more we miss them, the more we think about them. And oftentimes, people who grieve think about the whats and the ifs and what could have been and what would have been and should I have done this. And those things are very normal because we often want to go back and play back the tape and see if I could have done anything else. If we had have taken them to a different doctor or a different hospital, what outcome would there have been? Could I have said something positive, or did I say something negative that affected it? But at the end of the day, we need to trust in God's timeline. God has a timeline for everything. There is a time to sow, there's a time to reap, there's a time to be born, and there's a time to die. And that is aligned with the Word of God. We need to trust that God has a timeline. But how do we deal with grief? And I want to give us a practical way of handling it. Oftentimes, grief, some people have said, comes like in waves. It comes in and goes out and comes in and goes out. And I want to offer you a practice that I have adopted myself, especially as I have to deal with grief many a times in my ministry and in the journey that I'm on. When grief comes your way, we need to accept that loss. Accept it. Some people call it radical acceptance, because what has been done cannot be changed. And therefore we accept that grief. We accept that emptiness that often comes our way. And then what do we do with that? When we accept it, we also remember the life that they were able to live, the memories that we have with them. So we don't just hold on to that loss. We think about life instead of death. We think about the memories that we shared with them. We think about the times we had Thanksgivings or Christmases together, the times when we hung out, the times when we were able to joke and share stories, the times when we're able to hug and embrace. And so we acknowledge the grief radically, but at the same time, we turn that energy into remembrance of life. Remembrance of life. And then from that place, we receive the energy to move forward in living our lives that have meaning and purpose and a destiny. So hopefully that's going to be a practical practice for you.